The next item on the agenda today is item 2B, the update on the COVID-19 response. Mr. Bush, Chief Bush.
Good morning, Mayor Stephenson, members of the Maple Grove City Council. Thank you for allowing me to provide an update on Maple Grove's response to the current coronavirus 2019 pandemic. As you know, today marks 2 weeks since President Trump declared a national emergency and Governor Walz declared a Minnesota peacetime emergency. At that time, City of Maple Grove activated our pandemic emergency response plan. This provides guidelines for measured and appropriate actions to address this emergency while continuing to provide the services our residents depend on. Even before the national and state declarations, our emergency management team was watching and preparing for the challenges a pandemic presents for our community. This included reinforcing precautions and practices we do every cold and flu season. Early on, the Minnesota Department of Health also recommended increasing social distancing, and we worked to implement measures to make that happen. Over the past 2 weeks, we've closed the Maple Grove Community Center and suspended or canceled recreation programs sponsored by the City of Maple Grove. We restricted access to public buildings and reduced non-essential services. At the same time, we increased available cleaning supplies for our city staff and emphasized cleaning of frequently touched surfaces at the start of shift, after lunch, and any other time there was a need. So although we've restricted access to public buildings, we haven't stopped providing essential services to our residents and our businesses here in Maple Grove. We strongly encourage the public to use the telephone, use email, online options to conduct business with the city rather than trying to make an in-person visit to city offices. A lot of the times we're able to provide those answers and provide service without the need for a face-to-face visit. So as we move closer to the start of Governor Walz's stay-at-home order, we continue to provide much of the services our residents have come to expect. We're able to do this because early on, Maple Grove's team of department directors started working with managers and supervisors to find ways to increase distancing and find alternative ways of delivering service to our city's residents. In one example, we opened our Emergency Operations Center, what we call our EOC. We did this in a virtual manner. So technology allows us to use web-based applications like we're doing this morning to reduce the number of meetings that have to be done face-to-face. Virtual EOC operations have been the choice for almost every community within Maple Grove for their managing of the COVID-19 activities, and it really helps to limit exposure risks. We've implemented increased distancing and greater separation for employees working in Maple Grove. Some of the examples include moving half of our building inspectors to a secondary location within City Hall and relocating fire inspectors to remote work locations within fire stations. In some cases, we've leveraged technology that allows some staff to work from home while still being able to access their city network and telephone resources. We understand the importance of continuing the most critical of essential services. Employees in our Public Works Department, they've been assigned to multiple work groups, and each group is given a specific muster location to start their shift. This way, they're not all gathered in one place. Additionally, they're staggering their start times, and by staggering their start times, it also staggers their break and meal times to enhance distancing and reduce potential for exposure. Early on, training for police and fire officers was suspended, and subsequently all training outside of the City of Maple Grove was canceled or postponed to a later date for all city staff. Police Chief Werner and his command staff have adjusted work assignments when possible, relocated support staff to provide greater separation, and utilized technology to conduct virtual shift briefings to reduce the potential spread of the virus in the event an officer becomes infected. Our Maple Grove firefighters, we continue to respond to emergency calls, but we've also implemented additional sanitation and increased social distancing as much as possible. So whenever it's reasonable, firefighters are released from calls as soon as possible, and we use only the minimum number of firefighters required to safely address the situation. Maple Grove has discontinued all site inspections for construction that require entering an occupied home or business, but we continue to inspect new construction and unoccupied remodels. We're continuing the review process of new construction plans previously submitted, and the City of Maple Grove is continuing to respond to development applications. The Maple Grove Board of Appeals process is moving forward, but the meetings will be held online versus in person. The process to appeal property valuations, it'll be available via online forms on the city's website. You'll see additional restrictions such as the closing of our playgrounds and sport courts. This is in line with many of the communities in the Twin Cities. However, park trails are going to remain open and available for residents so they can get outside, exercise, take in some fresh air with the caveat of please practice social distancing. So tonight, Maple Grove, like the rest of Minnesota, will begin Governor Walz's 2-week stay-at-home order. It's necessary because of where Minnesota is in relation to the increase in COVID-19 cases and the ability of our healthcare system to keep up. Just yesterday, Minnesota's total hit 346 cases, of which 212 are current cases. We've had 41 people hospitalized. As of yesterday, 31 were still in hospital. And really the key point is that 18 of them are in the ICU, which is a significant increase over several days ago when there were only 2. So we know we can't stop it, but we've made adjustments. We'll continue to make adjustments, and it's going to allow us to provide as many services as reasonable. And we're also going to continue our critical and emergency services throughout this. So that's where we're at for today.
Thank you, Chief Bush. Does the council have any questions for Chief Bush? Seeing none, can we move on?